Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. I am the GM Philosopher. This is the GM Philosophy channel. Our mission here at GM Philosophy is very simple. We want to empower game masters to run better games. If this resonates with you, smash that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, check out the resources in the description, and let's go. Today we're talking about a question that was brought up in the Discord channel. If you want to join our Discord, link is in the description. What do I do when my GM style clashes with a player's style? ChatGPT explained it like this. When I asked ChatGPT what would be a good title for this video, when styles collide, mapping player archetypes and GM alignment. I thought that was a little bit of let's just say I found that title to be a bit abstract, which is why I named the video what I did. But this came from ADHD and Wolfram. Thank you very much for requesting this in the GM Philosophy Discord. Okay, here's the thing. I have often played D&D with people who I clash with their styles. And this is really interesting. I've actually played with some really, really great D&D players that I actually could not get in sync with their player styles. I've run games and had these players in my group. Now, I can think of a couple different players who come to mind who their style was just incredible. We were in tune the whole time. I understood what they were trying to do. I understood why they made the choices that they made about their characters. The vibe, the tone, the themes, I understood it. But I've also had a couple players actually, I should say, play characters in my games where I was not vibing and I did not understand. They would do things and I would think to myself, why would you do that? As the GM, right? Not that they were doing a bad job. It had nothing to do with them derailing the campaign. It had nothing to do with them not being serious. We're not talking about not taking the game seriously. We're not talking about lacking reverence for the game. What we're talking about is literally player style and GM style. I can actually think of a couple players in my games who were so serious about the craft of roleplay, and they were great players. They showed up all the time. They were committed to their characters. They were committed to the story. They took it so seriously. But when they role played, I often thought to myself, what is going on here? Like, I just couldn't get in sync. I didn't understand what theme they were kind of shooting for. I didn't really understand why they were choosing to do the things they did, and it just didn't really make sense to me. It's kind of like when I watch a movie that just doesn't really resonate with me. I think to myself, this isn't my kind of movie. Or it's when I listen to music that just isn't my kind of music. Some people might be like, oh, I love that album. And then I listen to it and I think it's obviously not my album. I don't get it, right? And then I have played with players like this. But here's the thing. As a GM, it's really important that we set our kind of surface level preferences aside and we focus on what really matters. Here's what really matters. What really matters is that we are coming together to create a piece of collaborative, intellectual, ephemeral art, right? And that we are going to create it with impact. We're going to care. We're going to create something that matters. We're going to create something meaningful. And it's going to matter to us in memory. It's going to matter to us in the moment. It is fun to create, but it also has meaning. It allows us to explore places, explore morality, explore ethics, explore different parts of life that we would never get to experience otherwise. And there's a special nature and there's an emotional impact that occurs when it's done correctly. Now, what we're looking for is to create that experience. And here's what I have to say about playing with players who do not vibe with your style. Don't look at the style. Don't look at whether or not you can really associate with it. Instead, look at the result. Look at how it lands, right? In the key moments, are those players all in? Maybe they do things that you think that is so square. And that's really the only way I can describe it. If we're creating a galaxy of circles and then there's a square thing that happens, then you have to ask yourself, is this square thing happening for a very good reason? Is there impact created by this? Is this perhaps in its squareness special, even if I don't understand it? That's what you have to ask yourself. And the truth is, with really good role players who do not vibe with your style, the answer is probably yes. And you would be surprised at the meaning that can be derived when you invest in those role players. So as a GM, I want to invest in those role players If I'm not vibing with what they're doing, I want to just put that aside, but I want to lean into them. I want to invest in them. I want to contribute. I still want to ask myself all the important questions. What does this character care about? What is the tone of the scene? What's the theme of the scene? What's the theme of the story? What should I do to help this player create the story of this character in the best way possible? And I'm telling you what, when you use that as your frame of reference, you're going to give those players all of the fuel that you're giving all the other players that you vibe with, even though you're not vibing with them. That's going to add so much like specialness to the campaign. It's going to add so much epicness. It's going to add so much depth, and it's going to make that player character appreciate it. You are going to reap massive benefits from having this player character. See your game as a reverent, sacred place to create this character. This is really important. This is super important. So at the end of the day, it really comes down to this. If you don't vibe with them, but you see that they are committed and they're doing it, they're creating the art with you, do not let your presuppositions get in the way of that. If anything, lean into it. Be willing to go on the exploration. Be willing to go on the adventure with them. And then at the end of the day, maybe you're going to actually say to yourself, 90% of that, I don't really know what I think of it. I kind of think it was zany, or I kind of think it was stiff, or I don't really get why they did that, but I believe it was meaningful to them. Okay. And then there's going to probably be 10% that you think to yourself, oh my God, that was epic. And that is totally fine. That is totally fine. And that is a win. So that's what I have to say about that. How can I, or what do I do when my GM style clashes with a player style? You empower that player to play that character. You empower that player to tell the story of that character just the same. Sometimes as game masters, we have to put our preferences to the side. There's nothing wrong with this, and we should do this if that's the right thing to do. I'm the GM Philosopher. This is the GM Philosophy channel. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you agree or disagree with me? Drop your comments. I would love to hear about them. Watch some more of my awesome videos. They're over here. My mirror gets flipped. Have a great day. Talk to you on the next one.